ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरीचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय सर्वभक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। तत्त्वातुर्नमशेषमण्डलपतिं श्रेणीं सदा तु च भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितौ गोपीभावरसामृताबलहरि कल्लोलमग्नो मुहुः। वन्दे रूपसनातनौ भटजिगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So today is very auspicious day, appearance day of Lord Vamandev, and appearance day of one of the prominent Goswamis, the eternal associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Sri Jiv Goswami Pad. Today is his appearance day. Srila Gurudev used to explain about uh, the surrender mood of Sri Jiv Goswami and the contributions of Sri Jiv Goswami Pad. When we go to Sri Vrindavan Dham and when we go to Sri Radha Damodar temple, we see Samadhi of Sri Jiv Goswami there. So just remembering that place, the Samadhi of Sri Jiv Goswami, and paying obeisances to him, seeking his mercy and blessings on his appearance day today. We pray to you, please shower your blessings to us so that we can also attain, under guidance of Srila Gurudev, the service of Shri Shri Radha Damodar. The six Goswamis of Vrindavan, empowered by Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu ordered six Goswamis to stay in Sri Vrindavan Dham and discover those places which are lost and write books which establish Vaishnava Siddhanta, establish deities and Vaishnava Sadachar, the etiquette of the devotees, Vaishnavas. These four orders were given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to six Goswamis, and therefore all Goswamis, they fulfilled the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Jiv Goswami is son of brother of Sri Rup and Sanatan, called Anupam. Sri Rup Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, and Anupam, three brothers. The son of Sri Anupam is Sri Jiv Goswami Pad. In other words, Sri Jiv Goswami is nephew of Rup and Sanatan Goswami Pad. Very, very intellectual, scholarly personality. When we hear the glories of Sri Nityan Prabhu, we hear that how Sri Nityan Prabhu not only merciful to those who are fallen like Jagai and Madai, but also he equally um, showered his blessings to even great personalities like Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, because only by the mercy of Sri Nityanand Prabhu, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami got association of Mahaprabhu, and finally he came to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also got ordered by Sri Nityan Mahaprabhu to go to Sri Vrindavan Dham. I assign you this Vrindavan Dham, and many more. But amongst all, Uttam, as we say, Uttam Adham Kichu na bachilo. No one was bereft of the mercy of Sri Nityan Prabhu. Everyone, those who are Uttam means high class devotees, and those who are even fallen. So amongst those who are Uttam is also Jeev Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityan Prabhu, he took Sri Jeev Goswami to perform Sri Navdeep Dham Parikrama. So who is the originator of Sri Navdeep Dham Parikrama? Who initiated this? Is Sri Nityan Prabhu by taking Sri Jeev Goswami with him. Now we go Navdeep Dham Parikrama, 8,000, 10,000 devotees. But who inaugurated this? Two personalities. Sri Nityan Prabhu, he took hand of Sri Jeev Goswami Pad and went to all those places of pastime of Mahaprabhu. And Nityan Prabhu, tears in his eyes, wandering in all those places of pastime and explaining the glories of those pastime or places of pastime. So, in the glories of Sri Nityan Prabhu, Sri Jeev Goswami, we can see how Sri Jeev Goswami Pad got blessed by Sri Nityanand Prabhu. Who can be more exalted as Sri Nityan Prabhu? Who can be more exalted in explaining the pastime, the places of pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Therefore, Sri Nityan Prabhu spoke and Sri Jeev Goswami Pad heard this. The order was given to the Goswamis to go to Vrindavan. But Sri Jeev Goswami Pad was given order to go to Benares, Varanasi, to hear, to learn all the scriptures, the Nyaya Darshan. Sri Jeev Goswami Pad, he went to Varanasi and he met Madhusudan Vachaspati. In his association, he learned all those scriptures, very fluent, and he was Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means whatever he hears, he immediately learned that. Just by reading or hearing, he can easily learn all those subjects and topics. That's the glories of Sri Jeev Goswami. Sri Jeev Goswami Pad, when he came to Sri Vrindavan Dham, when all the Goswamis, when they disappeared from this material vision and went to their respected abode, Sri Golok Vrindavan, in the service of divine couple Shri Radha Govind Dev, then Sri Jeev Goswami became the leader of all Vaishnava community. Therefore, he established Vishnu Vaishnava Raj Sabha, the assembly of all the Vaishnavas around the world. And Jeev Goswami became the leader of all the Vaishnavas. This is his glory. But very humble. Actually, Jeev Goswami Pad explained what is the meaning of humility. Humility, humble mood. When we hear this word, what we understand? One has to be very meek and humble, always folded hands, submissive. Ah. One should not raise one's voice. This is correct. This is true. But there is something more than this. As we can say, who's the ideal example of humility? All Vaishnavas possess this mood of humbleness. If a Vaishnava don't wear this ornament of humility, the person cannot be addressed as Vaishnava. Shri Namacharya Haridas Thakur, so humble, being beaten in 22 marketplaces, beaten, but he is so much humble. He don't want to retaliate to those who are beating him, whereas he's praying for them, those who are beating him, praying to them. So Hanuman is associate of Lord Ram, and he showed the example of humility. And what is his ideal example of humility? Set up one country on fire. Can you burn someone's house? No devotee can do this. So what to speak of one house? Hanuman, he burned the whole country, Lanka. Is this his humility of a Vaishnava? Yes. Yes. In broad sense, yes. Why he burned the whole country? Because the demon Ravan was the king of that country, Sri Lanka. And Ravan kidnapped the consort of Lord Ram, Sita Devi. And even after given so many opportunity to ask forgiveness, he's not ready for that. So Lord Ram sent his messenger, his servant Hanuman, to explain to Ravan about what he's doing. Even though he explained, but Ravan was not ready for forgiveness and surrender. So Hanuman burned the whole country to fire. That means Lord Ram is the Ishta, is the worshipful deity of Hanuman. Sita Ram resides in the heart of Hanuman. Yeah? Therefore, setting up fire to the whole country is actually humility. Then, another example. Vrindavan Das Thakur, who wrote Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and 3 places in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur writing this phrase, एतो परिहारे पापी यदि निंदा करे तबे लाथी मारू तार शिर उपरे. Chaitanya Bhagavat, written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, associate of Sri Nityan Prabhu. And everywhere in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, he is glorifying Sri Nityan Prabhu. Everywhere. But, and also giving examples of his pastime, how compassionate and how merciful is Sri Nityan Prabhu. मेरे छी कलशी माता ताई बोले कि प्रेम देवो ना की वो जगाई मदाई. You hit a pot on my forehead just by seeing this. Will I not give prema to you? Definitely. If I'm giving prema to everyone, why not you? Just because you hit me? No, I'm not considering this at all. I will definitely gain prema to you because I'm not partial to anyone. Even someone praise me or hit me, I'm ready to give prema to anyone. So Vrindavan Das Thakur explaining how merciful is Shri Nityan Prabhu. But even after hearing so much glories of Shri Nityan Prabhu, even if someone criticized my Nityanand, then I will kick that person on his forehead. I will kick that person on the forehead. ये तो परिहारे पापी यदि निंदा करे तबे लाठी मारू तार शिर ऊपरे. Is it appropriate to kick someone on any Vaishnav? It's not appropriate. No Vaishnav kicks or hit anyone. Even by chance, if it happens, we touch someone with our feet, we ask forgiveness. We touch their body and put place on forehead. Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu, Om Vishnu. Please forgive me. Because the body of Vaishnav is temple of Vishnu, temple of Lord. And if we touch the body with our feet, we should ask forgiveness right away. So, Vrindavan Das Thakur showing this humility. And after hearing so much glories of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, even if anyone still criticizes him, I will kick that person on his forehead. This is humility. Understand what I want to say? Similarly, Shri Jiva Goswami Thakur. There was one Digvijay Pandit. Digvijay means he has conquered all the scholars in his Sanskrit language or in the Shastras. He conquered all the scholars throughout the country. And that was the system in all those days. That this person, Digvijay Pandit, when he's approaching any scholar, he's starting debate with them. And if other person get defeated, he has to sign a Jai Patra. He has to sign one letter saying that I accept my defeat and all glories to this person. So this Digvijay means he conquered everyone in all the directions. And he has letters from all great personalities. When he came to Brajavandal, he asked Shri Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami to sign this letter saying that I'm more qualified than you. Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, without any waste of time, immediately signed that letter, accepting the defeat, even if it is not started yet. The debate has not started yet. But when this person said, sign this and accept your defeat, immediately Rup Sanatan signed that. Why they did this? They are not less. If Rupa Goswami would have started saying, no one can defeat him. He is so scholarly, he is so intellectual. Unfortunately, we don't know Sanskrit. But those who learn Sanskrit, if they read the Sanskrit part of Shri Rupa Goswami's some very, very difficult books, they stuck will wonder, what is this? How beautifully in his writing, the shlokas, so much ornamental language. It's so beautiful language, ornamental language. But Rup Sanatan Goswami immediately signed that because they have no time for this debate. Shastra says, Tarko Pratishthanat. There is no room for argument. Okay, you want to accept, you want to win over, okay, go ahead. But don't waste my time. Because Shri Sanatan Goswami Park, they always absorbed in the separation of Shri Radha Krishna. We just sung this. He Radhe Braj Devi ke chalalite, he Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patave, Kalindi Vane Kuta, Goshantaviti Sarvato Vrajapure, he Dir Mahavivalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano Bhatajugo, Shri Jiva Gopal Ko. They both are so much in separation. Vipralam Bhav. Vipralam Bhav. Or Rup Goswami and Vipralam Bhav for Shri Radha Krishna. Somebody is writing message. Please don't write. It's a disturbance to me. So, they are so much absorbed in separation from Radha Krishna and in separation from Shri Nityananda, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Therefore, they have no time in any arguments, in any kind of, debate. Not interested. And that's the reason they immediately signed that. So they were playing their own role. But Jiva Goswami is disciple of Sri Rupa Goswami. Gurudev plays his own role, and disciple have to play his own role. Jiva Goswami was the leader of all Vaishnava community, and being a disciple, he can't tolerate this, that my Gurudev, Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, just signed this without any, wasting time. They just signed like this. So he came forward. And this Digvijay Pandit, he came to Jiva Goswami to also want him to sign this Jayapatra, means the letter of victory. Jiva Goswami said, no, I don't want to sign this, and I'm ready for the debate. And the debate happened between them. Jiva Goswami Pad, he pointed out so many references from scriptures, so many verses, that the person, Digvijay, he passed stool. He passed stool. You know when it happened? If a person sees Yamadutas, they are not very beautiful ones. If anyone sees Yamadutas, they are so, what's the word? Terrific to see them. Their appearance. And that's why many people who leaving their body, they pass urine and stool. They can't see them, Yamadutas. So that means when a person is fearful, it happens like that. There was a one brahmachari, I'll not tell his name, but he was a young boy in the mutt in the center. And as I explained a couple of times, how Srila Gurudev was chastising, loving, giving affection, and also chastising, and also giving Mahaprasad. This Mahaprasad. This is best Mahaprasad. So Gurudev once, he did some mistake and Gurudev gave him Mahaprasad. And when he received Mahaprasad, he passed urine there at the spot. So Gurudev understood, oh, he got scared. And after that, Gurudev promised, I will never do this again to him. Because he was just trying to correct him. But he took it so hard on him that he was not able to accept this chastisement. So he got scared. These are the reasons I'm telling when a person passes urine and stool. So this Digvijay Pandit, this person who was boldly claiming that, oh, there's no one like him in the whole country. When he got defeated and seeing how Shri Jiva Goswami is so learned and scholarly, he passed stool there and accepted his defeat. So those days, if a person get defeat, he accepts his defeat. He has to accept this defeat. Not like nowadays. Even if I get defeat, I will not accept. I'm not defeated. It's you who's saying this. But they have to accept victory and they have to accept defeat. So by hearing Shri Jiva Goswami Pad, so someone can say, Jiva Goswami is not humble. He could have, like his Gurudev, Rup and Sanatan Goswami have done, sign the letter. He did not. Why? Because he is the protector of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. He was protecting. Otherwise, how people would have understood the glories of the Rup and Sanatan Goswami. So a disciple have to take this role. And this is the humility of a disciple. This, by hearing this, you can understand, we can develop some maturity level. As many times I used to say, one have to be very mature in understanding the dealing. And that's why many people get confused. Oh, Param Gurudev never did this. Why Gurudev did this? It's not appropriate. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada did this. And Param Gurudev, he did something else. Or Gurudev did something else. We have to understand time, place, and circumstance, and the role one is playing. You have to understand that. What role they are playing as a disciple. Just like if Param Gurudev, if he's riding on a horse to protect Sri Dham Mayapur from the clutches of Muslims who were trying to overrule this territory, which is the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, Param Gurudev fought with them. That's his humility. He's acting as a disciple. Whereas Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he's playing a role of Gurudev. So as an Acharya, he told Param Gurudev, no need to file a court case against them. Just take your court case back. Because they try to kill Srila Prabhupada. They try to throw stones and bricks and bottles on Prabhupada, wants to kill him. Even after so much insult to him by these people, Prabhupada didn't want to take any revenge. But Param Gurudev as disciple, he don't want to spare them. So he filed a court case against those people who are against my Guru Maharaj. So we have to understand this. Another instance in the life history of Sri Jiva Goswami, that once upon a time, Sri Rupa Goswami, when he was writing scriptures, there came one Acharya, and Sri Rupa Goswami regarded him, gave him respect, and the Acharya asked Sri Rupa Goswami, which book you are writing? And Sri Rupa Goswami Father said, I'm writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Oh, so which verse you are writing right now? And Rupa Goswami Father said, Bhukti Mukti Sriha Yavad Pishachi Hidi Vartate. In this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have this verse. Bhukti Mukti Sriha Yavad Pishachi Hidi Vartate. Means, Bhukti means what? Desire to enjoy the material world. Bhukti. And then Mukti means liberation. So, desire for Bhukti and Mukti, enjoying material world and then enjoying liberation, to get liberation, is compared to as which. Compared to as which. When this Acharya, he saw this, he said, oh, that's not correct. Mukti, liberation, is what many people are longing for. All the yogis, the rishis, everyone want mukti. And how can you compare liberation, mukti, as which is not appropriate word. I'm going to take bath in Jamuna and later I will come and correct what you are writing. I will do some corrections. Rup Goswami Pad playing the role of Acharya, Gurudev. He said, yes, whatever you want to correct, please do this. He took a very humble role. So he went to take bath in Jamuna, nearby Jamuna. Because Jamuna was flowing nearby and he went to take bath in Jamuna. But when this dialogue was happening between Rup Goswami and him, Shri Jiva Goswami was right behind Rup Goswami, fanning him. Because this is how he was serving his Guru Maharaj, Shri Rup Goswami. Writing and Jiva Goswami fanning him. And also not only physical service, but also he used to edit, doing editing in the books of Shri Rup Goswami Pad. Editing was done by Jiva Goswami. So when he was fanning, he heard this dialogue and he was not happy. How dare this person found fault in the writing of my Guru Maharaj? So he told, Shri Jiva Goswami Pad told to Rup Goswami, Gurudev, now it's getting dark. I need to go to Jamuna to fetch some water. He said, okay. And Jiva Goswami, intentionally he went to the same spot, Jamuna, to get water where this Acharya was taking bath. Intentionally. Why? To have debate with him. And there Shri Jiva Goswami Pad challenged him. What fault you found? What fault you find in the writing of my Gurudev, Rup Goswami? And he said, it was very clear. He wrote, Bhukti Mukti Sviha Yavat Pishachi Hiri Vartate. How can he compare the liberation, the mukti, which is, so respectful for many, as which? Then Jiva Goswami said, you are wrong. My Guru Maharaj wrote, not that liberation, mukti is which, but the desire to get liberation is unwanted. Spriha yavat. Spriha means desire, not the mukti. He's not saying anything about mukti, but the desire to get mukti. Why? Because no Vaishnav or Vaishnavi, they want mukti. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kame Sakale Ashant. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiv Shant. Those who are running after bhukti means enjoying the material world. And those who are running after mukti, liberation, they all are restless, ashant. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam. Krishna Bhakta, the devotee of Krishna, is always Nishkam, no desire. Ataiv Shant. Therefore, he is very peaceful. So no Vaishnava want mukti. They don't want to even utter mukti. Even if Krishna wants to give mukti, they don't want to accept that. Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, Kapil Bhagwan instructing to Mother Devhuti, saying, Salokya Shashti Samipya Saruphe Ekapayod, Diyamanana Garananti Vina Mat Sevanam Jana. I want to grant liberation to my devotees, which are 5 kinds of liberation. Sarupe, Samipe, Salokya, Shashti, and Sayujya. 5 kinds of liberation I want to give them. But Diyamanana Garananti Vina Mat Sevanam Jana. I don't want any liberation. We don't want any liberation. Then what you want? I want seva. I want only the service. Whereas devotee chastise mukti, pure devotees, because mukti swayam muklitanjali, mukti swayam muklitanjali se Kam gate same pratikshaha. Mukti with folded hands. Follow the pure devotees. Praying to the pure devotees. O pure devotees, you are engaged in the service of Krishna. Then try to engage me in the service of Krishna. But pure devotees chastise Mukti saying, Dure Tishtan, stay far away from me. Don't ever come to me. Because even the smell of you make me forgetful of Krishna. Therefore, Dure Tishtan, stay far away. Don't even come to me. This is Mukti. So therefore, devotees, they don't want this Mukti at all. But they want only Prem Seva, the loving service to uh, lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna. So Jiva Goswami had debate with him. They started from this point that my Guru Maharaj, Shri Rupa Goswami said, the desire for Mukti is compared to which, not the Mukti compared to which. And then further debate started and he got defeated. This Acharya got defeated. Jiva Goswami defeated him and he accepted that defeat. And meanwhile, Jiva Goswami is getting some water from Jamuna. And this Acharya came back to Rupa Goswami and said, oh, actually, I was wrong. I was wrong. Whatever you wrote is actually correct. And Rupa Goswami was confused. Earlier he said he's going to come back and do some correction. And what happened in just short span of time? He came back saying, there is no wrong, there is nothing wrong in your writings, everything is perfect. Rupa Goswami thought for a while, but he's not understanding why. And while leaving that space, this Acharya said, anyway, who was that boy who was fanning you? Rupa Goswami said, he's my disciple, Jiva. Oh, he's very brilliant and he's very scholarly, very intellectual. Just by saying this, he left. And Rupa Goswami understood, it must be Jiva who did something. It must be him who might have an argument or debate with him and defeated him. And that's why he was glorifying my disciple Jiva. Rupa Goswami Pad. He was waiting for Jiva Goswami to come. When Shri Jiva Goswami Pad came to his Gurudev, Rupa Goswami, Rupa Goswami told Jiva, go far from me. I don't want to keep you with me. One respected Acharya, one respected Vaishnav, he wanted to do some correction in my writing. What is your problem? Why you defeated him? We should respect all the Vaishnavas. If he's willing to do any corrections, that would have been good for our book, for my writings. Why you did this? So I don't want to see you. Go away from here. So while commenting on this, our Srila Gurudev used to say, many people get confused by hearing this statement of Sri Rupa Goswami saying that Rupa Goswami rejected Sri Jiva Goswami. But that was not rejection. That was some other purpose, and that is some pastime happening between two of them. Because Jiva Goswami has not done something wrong. He acted idly as a disciple supposed to act. Can't hear any criticism of my Guru Maharaj. I will shout back, or I will not spare that person. How dare he can speak about my Gurudev? Keeping this mood means humility. humbleness. So, but there are many other details in that. One should know how to even write back or speak back to whom we are speaking. Everything has to be considered. So Srila Gurudev commenting on this pastime, used to comment on this pastime on this day. Every time Gurudev always giving this example. Always this. And that's why remembering him, I'm trying to repeat and remembering Srila Gurudev saying this. That Rup Goswami was playing the role of Acharya, Guru. So therefore he was maintaining his idol of humility. But Jiva Goswami is playing the role of a disciple. He can't. He can't be just quiet, hearing anyone can come and do corrections. In the writings of Rup Goswami, don't he know the personality Rup Goswami? He is manifestation of the Rupa, the form of Radharani and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are perfect. There is no imperfection in their activities, in their actions, and in their words or in their writings. No imperfection. They are perfect associates. So what Jiva Goswami has done is 100% correct. If he would have kept silent there, then he was at fault. Keeping silence here means fault. But defeating him is actually playing the role of disciple. This is what he's supposed to do, and therefore he did that. So then Rup Goswami told, go away from here. Why you accepted renunciation? Can't you just tolerate a few words of someone? And he didn't say anything wrong. He just said, I want to do correction. Jiva Goswami kept quiet. This is also one lesson. Even if we are right, and we know Gurudev is not understanding my mood, and if we know Gurudev, because Gurudev cannot be wrong, but if he's misunderstanding us, if he's not understanding us properly, even though we are right, still we have to be quiet. Even if he's chastising us, even if we are right, and he don't understand why we are right, still if he's chastising, be quiet and hear that. Not that, oh Gurudev, you don't know the facts and you're just shouting at me. That's not the etiquette. In material world, it can be like this. In spiritual world, it is not like that. Just hear whatever he's saying. Even though he's wrong and we are right, still the etiquette say we have to just be quiet. So he told Jiva Goswami to go Urv Disha, in the east, north direction. And Jiva Goswami, crying and weeping, he left that place. And he started staying in a cave, the cave of a crocodile. And day and night, weeping and crying in separation. In separation. And there, right in that cave, in that separation mood, you know what he wrote? The 6 Sandarbhas. Tattva Sandarbha, Krishna Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha, Prem Sandarbha. The 6 Sandarbhas, if you read, mind-blowing. All tattvas, all siddhanta, have very high class. So Srila Gurudev used to say, if Jiva Goswami would have been rejected by his Gurudev, Rup Goswami, and he's feeling so much separation, thinking that, oh, I'm rejected, how he can write these 6 books? Can anybody write these books? If thinking I'm got rejected? No, that was not rejection. Intentionally it was done this because Rup Goswami Pad wanted Jiva Goswami to go and stay in a secluded place and write this. for the benefit of everyone. But because he was not in association of his Gurudev, he was crying and weeping. And once upon a time, Sanatan Goswami Pal walking by in that village, because he used to wander in all 84 miles Braj Mandal, Sanatan Goswami, barefoot, walking. So when he by chance come to this village asking Bhiksha, what Bhiksha is asking? The Bhiksha of Harinam. And that was his specialty. He used to develop relationships with everyone, every individual family. He used to ask them, Bhiksha means flour, Madhukari, flour, atta. But that is only an excuse. Actually, he wanted to make them devotees. So therefore, whatever house is asking Bhiksha from, he used to ask, how's your daughter doing? If she got married, how's your calf? How's your cow doing? In this way, developing relationship with them. So when Sanatana Goswami Pad was in that village and asking this Bhiksha, he heard from the local residents. He said, you are addressed as Bade Baba. Bade Baba means senior, Baba means sannyasi. But you are asking Madhukari, you are asking Diksha. But there is one another Baba here in our village. Just we started seeing him days back. He's not even asking anything from anyone. We don't even know how he's surviving, staying in that cave, how he's living. He never comes out and asking anything. I don't know what leaves or whatever he's eating. And Sanatana Goswami Pad became surprised. Who is this Baba? Who is this person who don't even ask anything and how he's surviving? What these local residents, what they are speaking about? Let me go and check. And when Sanatana Goswami Pad came there, he saw Shri Jiva Goswami. Jiva, you are here? Just by seeing Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami burst into tears. He burst into tears. He paid obeisances to Sanatana Goswami Pad, and Sanatana Goswami Pad immediately embraced him. So skinny, because he gave up eating at all. Say, Jiva, what happened to you? Why you are here? What is the matter? And then he explained everything. Then Sanatana Goswami Pad, he came to Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami honored him, made him a seat to sit. And Sanatana Goswami Pad asked, Rupa, what are you writing? Rupa Goswami Pad said, I'm writing Bhakti Samal Simple. Oh, and what is the essence of this book? And Rupa Goswami Pad said, Jive Daya Name Ruchi Vaishnav Seva. The essence of bhakti is Jive Daya, compassion on jivas, inspiration and taste in Harinam, and Vaishnav Seva. This is the essence. I would have finished this book earlier, but Jiva is not here with me anymore. I would have finished this book earlier because he's very sharp in doing editing. Saying this, Rupa Goswami started crying. And Sanatana Goswami Pad said, oh, this is the essence of your book. Jive Daya, where Name Ruchi, compassion on jivas and taste in chanting Harinam. You're writing this, but where is the compassion on your jiva? You're not showing compassion on your jiva. You ask him to go away. Where is that compassion on your jiva? Rupa Goswami started crying. And Sanatana Goswami, he brought Jiva Goswami back and handed over his hand in the hands of his Guru Maharaj, Sri Rupa Goswami. When Rupa Goswami saw Jiva Goswami so skinny, so skinny, he was surprised and understood that he had stopped even eating. He stopped eating at all. In that separation mode of his Guru Maharaj service, in separation from his Gurudev, Jiva Goswami didn't lose hope. If we are separated, first of all, we don't feel separation from our Gurudev. We don't feel. We feel separation from other people. Yeah. I'm feeling separation from my pet. I'm feeling separation from him. I'm feeling separation from her. All these separations. Yeah. I'm feeling separation from happiness. I was to be very happy before. Do we feel separation from Gurudev? No. Those who gave us so much, those who taught us so much in our happy moments, in those our difficult times, we used to come to him and with his singing, with his lectures, with his instructions, with his joking, with his laughing, all those memories, how much we remember them. Yeah. No separation. And this is what we have to, it's not something which we have to develop. It is spontaneous. Yeah. Love is not something which we have to develop. Love is something which is spontaneous. Separation is not to develop. Separation is spontaneous. And Srila Gurudev used to say, more you love, more you feel separation. Rukmani feels separation from Krishna, no doubt. Radharani also feels separation from Krishna. Sita also feels separation from Ram. But whose separation is superior? One whose love is more, then the separation is more. Radharani's separation is far superior than anybody else. So in that separation, first of all, we don't feel that separation. But those who really feel separation from Gurudev, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Vaishnava, a person feels hopeless. Oh, my life is finished. I have nothing to do. No need to be hopeless. Utsaha, Nishchay, Dhairya, enthusiasm, determination, and patience. Three things go together. In that hopeless situation, don't need to be hopeless. One needs encouragement to serve more and more one's Gurudev. No scope of any hopelessness. That's why engage that difficult time in the service of Gurudev. Every moment. There is no single minute to be wasted. And this is what Sri Jiva Goswami did. When his Gurudev Rupa Goswami said, go far away from here. And he's hiding, sitting in that cave. And in that separation from his Gurudev, he wrote 6 Sandarbhas. My goodness, these 6 Sandarbhas are that's the glories of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, these 6 books. Amazing books, amazing books. Those who know verses, those who know shlokas, they can understand the glories of Jiva Goswami writing this book. Bhakti Sandarbha means wherever in Vedas, Puranas, and Srimad Bhagavatam, wherever the context of bhakti, he just took from there and composed Bhakti Sandarbha, compiled a book called Bhakti Sandarbha. Prem Sandarbha, Priti Sandarbha, wherever mentioned about Prema, You took all those verses and compiled one book called Priti Sandarbha. See, I used to read this years back, and I was surprised. Oh my goodness, how Jeev Goswami is writing this. Ordinary person cannot write this. And imagine when he's writing this, when he's sent far away from his Gurudev, in separation. In separation, so much service. And what about in union? If he's in separation, can write this. What he can write when he's in union? So this is one example. Again, example to show what is the definition of humility, humbleness. And then there are more, so many other pastimes. Jiva Goswami is the one who gave his whole heart affection, teaching three great personalities in Gaudiya Vaishnavas. These three personalities started the preaching movement. Before them, there was no preaching. Everyone was doing secluded bhajan. Shri Loknath Goswami, Shri Bhugal Goswami, Shri Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, all six Goswami, secluded bhajan. But Shri Narottam, Shri Shyamanand, Shri Nivas Prabhu, these Prabhutray, three Prabhus, they started extensive preaching, length and breadth of the country. Wherever they went in that territory, make everyone, the whole village, town and city Vaishnavas. Shri Narottam Prabhu, Shri Shyamanand Prabhu and Srinivas Acharya. They learned this, got education from Shri Jiva Goswami. Even though they were not direct disciples of Shri Jiva Goswami, they were disciples of some other gurus. That's the best example Gurudev always and always and always telling. Don't see difference between your Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. They both are equal, should have equal importance because they both are teaching us. Shri Narottam Prabhu Gurudev was Shri Loknath Goswami. Shyamanand Prabhu Gurudev is Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu. Srinivas Acharya Gurudev was Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami. And they sent their disciples to Jiva Goswami to learn from him. And Shri Jiva Goswami, without any hesitation, reservation, any partiality, he gave his everything to three of them. And they are the one who started the preaching. The preaching started from them. Right? So this is the glories of Shri Jiva Goswami. This is the glory. And he wrote, on one side he wrote the six Sandarbhas which are so difficult, all Tattva and Siddhantas. And other side he wrote, on other hand he wrote Gopal Champu. Amazing book, amazing book, amazing book. Such ornamental language. So ornamental language. Giving details of Krishna's pastimes. Very much detailed. As I was explaining yesterday. What Krishna is thinking, what Radhaji is thinking, what Nanda Baba is thinking, what they are thinking, which they are not even expressed in the words. Jiva Goswami is writing there. How we came to know? Because his Manjari. Which Manjari? Okay, I want to hear Radha Sundari. Unmute Radha Sundari. Can unmute Radha Sundari?
Krishna?
Yes.
Jiva Goswami's Vilas Manjari.
Correct. Very nice. Vilas Manjari. What is Vilas? What is Vilas? The supportive pastime of Radha and Krishna is called Vilas. When they are alone and performing very intimate pastime, this is called Vilas. The personification of that Vilas, the sportive pastime of Krishna and Radhaji, assume a form, and that is Sri Jiva Goswami. Imagine. And understanding the time, place, and circumstance, in those days, people started offending, saying, "This is so weird. Krishna is preaching immorality." Why? People were against the books of Goswamis. Oh, what this Gaudiya Vaishnavas are doing, saying that Radharani married to Abhimanyu and in love with Krishna. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Totally weird. Radharani is married to. This is called Parakiya Bhav. So this is not good. So they are offending Krishna. To save those people going to hell, Jiva Goswami just twisted. And he, in his book Gopal Champu, he explained the pastimes of Radha Krishna, explaining Radharani married to Krishna. That's called Sakyavad. But that was circumstantial. That was not his mood. And that is not the mood of his Gurudev, Rupa Goswami. He did this intentionally to save the people going to hell, criticizing Radha Krishna. He did this to save people. And that's why many Vaishnavas, Acharyas, after Sri Jiva Goswami, criticizing Jiva Goswami, saying he was not following his Gurudev order properly. That is, Gurudev Rupa Goswami was establishing Parakiya Bhav, means Radharani married to Abhimanyu, and she in-laws is in Javat. But Jiva Goswami said no. He's establishing Sakyavad with the reference from Bhagavatam, with the slokas. But Gurudev said no, that was circumstantial, according to time, place, circumstance, to save people who are going to hell, criticizing them. He intentionally did this, but actually his mood was not like that. His Vilas Manjari, he knows everything. So, when a person takes a charge of the leader of a sampradaya or acting a role as an acharya, so many things has to be consideration. So many things to be considered. And that needs maturity to understand. But if we think we are not mature, then don't try to criticize. Try to associate with mature people to understand these dealings of acharyas. Because they cannot do any mistake. They are perfect. We need great amount of maturity to understand. Now, by hearing this, anyone can say, "Oh, I'm fully mature. I'm fully mature." No. Just newly born babies. Like Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj used to give example. Once upon a time, a young girl, 7-8 year young girl, she saw one mother delivering baby, and mother was in pain. So she came back with that mood, and she wanted to sleep, and she told her mother, "Mother, I'm going to sleep, but what if overnight if I deliver a baby, then wake me up, because I want to see how I'm delivering a baby." Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj used to give this example. That means what this girl is saying, the child is saying, is immature words. And what mother replied to her? She laughed on her, saying, when you will deliver baby, what to speak of waking you up, you will wake the whole hospital. Huh? This is called immaturity. Words spoken in immature state. Therefore, we are many devotees, we are babies. It's so difficult to even touch that level where the acharyas are so thoughtful. To save the sampradaya, they have to do so much. To save the sampradaya, they have to do so much. To save the people, they have to do so much. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada introduced so many new ways to preach to Western world because they are not familiar with rules and regulations. So he introduced many different ways. And many people started criticize him. criticize him. But the whole world saw his glories. What was achieved and accomplished later, and everyone sees that, then they understand, oh, he was right. So when the result comes, then everyone starts praising, oh, very nice, very nice. But when he was struggling to preach and was adopting many means by which somehow or the other, yeno keno paena, somehow or the other, one person can come to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, I was reading one book where Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj was saying, once upon a time, a disciple of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj knew in Krishna consciousness. He only learned from his Gurudev that one is supposed to put tilak on forehead. And he was not having any water. You know, we need water to put on our palm and we rub the tilak and then we apply on forehead. So there was no water. So what he did, he spit. He spit on his palm and rubbing tilak there to put on his forehead. And that was not in America. He was in India in one Gaudiya Math. He's doing this. And in Gaudiya Math is very intolerant to see any transgression of etiquette, Vaishnava etiquette. So one brahmachari saw this. And he said, hey, what is this? With your spit, you're putting tilak? And he was trying to stop him. But Srila Swami Maharaj said, no, don't disturb him. He's on a very preliminary level. At least there is something in his mind, the impression that one has to put tilak. That will make him advance. How much tolerant Acharya Srila Swami Maharaj. He knows he's doing wrong, but you don't want to correct him right away. Take time. He will learn by himself, by seeing others. Not in a very, in an initial stage. He gives space. He gives so much space, especially to devotees in Western world to learn, because they have not learned this from the very childhood. They are not familiar with this etiquette. When we see some our superiors, we need to bow down, touch their feet. That's the culture in India. So there are many rules and regulations like this, which we just anyone who takes birth in India, they just know from the childhood. The simple things. No one has to teach them. But Srila Swami Maharaj, due to time, place, and circumstance, he gave a space to everyone. Not in initial stage, later on. First, let them live. They can breathe. So he was so happy and impressed to see that even he come to this standard, this point that one has to put tilak. That is a very good symptom. Seeing good in everything. Okay. In this way, Srila Gurudev and all acharyas. We can't judge them with our limitations of our perceptions. There's some purpose behind that, a great purpose, a great project behind that. So we need maturity. So it's time now. On this day, Sri Jiva Goswami disappearance day, we pray to him. Please bless us. So we should not be greedy for anything else. And just we can follow the example of Atma Nivedan as done by Shri Bali Maharaj, surrendering everything to Shri Vaman Bhagwan. We can surrender as Bali Maharaj. Bali to Atma Nivedanam. As Bali Maharaj, he surrendered everything to Shri Vaman Bhagwan. Also his appearance day today. Keshavardhita Vamana Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. This is some other time I will explain this pastime of Shri Vaman Bhagwan. So much instructions there. And what Bali Maharaj got in return by surrendering everything to Vaman Bhagwan? He got so much. He got so much. And what the best thing he got? The lotus feet of Shri Vaman Bhagwan on his head. Vaman Bhagwan came to cheat Bali Maharaj, but he got cheated because he has to place his lotus feet on the head of Shri Bali Maharaj. So, devotee always win over the Lord. Devotees always win over the Lord. That's the lesson teachings we get from Shri Vaman Bhagwan. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare. Shri Vaman Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Jiva Goswami ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare. So tomorrow is